Hey guys, Trevor here. Welcome to another Who Are We podcast. Today I've got a special guest with me, Chukwubuikem. How are you going today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good,
Welcome,
Trevor.
welcome,
It's,
welcome, and thanks for joining me today. Before we get
yes, the
started,
pleasure is mine.
I just got a little disclosure. We're just going to record this session, and we're going to upload it to the podcast on YouTube and put some links on LinkedIn or whatever promotional stuff. So the main theory is we're just talking about in general who everyone is and just trying to get the conversation about it's okay to be ourselves and to find ourselves, and hopefully it might empower other people to take that journey and to look at themselves and who they want to be and strive to be that person. So, it's all just a little bit of fun and a little bit of nothing too serious, just trying to get to know different people and how they think and their perspectives of the world. So
Yes.
uh, yeah, I'll just start straight away. So who
Yep.
is Chukwubuikem and what does he stand for?
Okay. So first, my name is Chukwubuikem, and I'm from Nigeria. From the Igbo extraction, from Igbo extraction, the famous Igbo landing. You probably find the Wikipedia and the rest of them, right? So and I have a background in engineering. I trained as a mechanical engineer, and I think currently now I'm a product development and product management specialist, and I manage a company, Generative Car Services. Where we run our product development as a product development company and consulting company for manufacturing, energy and oil and gas, industry. So this is more like, let me give you a little bit. I'm engaged but not married yet, so I'm a single person right now. So that's why I'm really pretty much engaged. So that's more like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to spend quite so much time on that intro so that I wouldn't get long. But that's more like. And then what Chukwubuikem is it's as a native name in Igbo language that means God is my strength. So that's always that, and that name has been really quite very meaningful for me because it has been the benchmark of almost everything I get to do in since the time I started getting to reasoning, the point of reasoning, because my parents has always really emphasized that the meaning and the significance of that in my life and in my journey and my birth, and I have really truly embodied that, and it has been one of my biggest internal inspiration also to always find that inspiration that God is strength even in the midst of adversities, right? So
So I just heard obviously you're doing amazing work there as mechanical engineering and manufacturing and that over there. You talked about uh, a, 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 a big relationship with the meaning of your name, which is God is my strength. So that to me suggests a very religious sort of path that you choose to live your life is.
yes, so first, I will start by I come from a very Christian family, it's very strong Christian family. My mom and my dad were very rooted in Christian, values and morals, and we are really brought up on the Christian, values and morals up to date. I will try it as much as possible could do to really still maintain that standard. It was quite a high standard that was set for us, and we try to cope around this. So uh, in a changing world. And again, is so from a background, I came from, and the parenthood was something that really a lot of things happen in the life that's really personally made me to start becoming more self-aware at a very early stage, right? I think at the age of 12 to 14, that was my one of the first biggest journey of, I think, around 14 years, around the biggest journey of self-awareness. And I think it's really came to the point where I read the book by John Mason, Why Ask Why? So I think that was my biggest mentor that wasn't read to me directly, right? Far away from America, but was one of the most impactful books for my life at very early age, of my junior high school. So it was really that thing that really, and then a journey that was one of the key things that really transformed my, my, well, I say trajectory about finding my true self was when I lost my favorite uncle, who was in the path of becoming a priest before, he died and all that. So, and it was one key deep thing that really felt like I don't think my parents are still alive, so I don't think I have felt that deep sense of loss,
Yep.
right? Even to date of losing the someone. So it was very dear someone to me, and somebody like was like person that I very looked up to in many ways, in morals, intelligence, in profession, and all that, in quite many ways. Others I could look them in one essence, but one person that have embodiment. And when God died at very young age, probably at early 30s, and so it was quite something very significant. I needed to fill a vacuum. So, and I started reading a lot of philosophical books, which is some of his books, right? So I got some of his books, some philosophical. I started reading about Plato, Socrates, and at a very early stage.
Yeah.
And I would say it's probably be it will really like a kind of like let me say grace of God for me to still be a Christian, because at that early stage I read books that were what I would call probably more atheist, right? A lot of free thinkers and the rest of them. But the more I deep into some of those books, and the more I really find true meaning of the connection of back to God. So it was really that thing, because while in secondary school, I think we were taught about the Charles Darwin, evolution of man and
Yep.
all that. But one of the key areas I really had to find a connection to was looking at the Bible. The man was created in God's image and likeness, and looking at the Quran also, which also shares the same belief, and Torah is also share the same belief of God's creation. This at least these three religions shares that same belief. So, and then looking at the Charles Darwin, first I believe that God is all intelligent, full of wisdom, and so for God to say he created man in his own image and likeness really means that man is also very intelligent. It's a very intelligent being. And looking at the Charles Darwin point, it was that connection that man, what we have today, the evolution was a Homo sapien, which is an intelligent being, right?
Yeah.
So if I, even though I don't agree with the other one, but I get to the point where okay, the two are saying that man is intelligent, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be the mind and the soul more than the physical appearance and the physical body, because
Yeah.
that's like a clothes. So I have to start retracing back on when it comes to the power of the mind, the power of the brain, and then be more self-aware in my environment. So that's what like really the whole journey really getting to the point, and that's been like my compass to this day.
Yeah. 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 So you're saying that about the age of 14, you started
Yes,
your journey on self-awareness. And,
yes,
and do you feel, and you mentioned about loss and how close relation, loss helped you to start reading some books and philosophies, and you're trying to tie it all in through education, and it all links back to your faith in God, and you explored different perspectives on different religions even, and tried to tie it all together with the theory of Charles Darwin's evolution theory and this. But it was it sounds like it was like a real journey for you to get to this space where you're at today. Is that about right, do you think?
yes. I think it has been a journey, and it's still a journey, because I believe that as far as I'm alive, one particular thing I owe myself is to keep discovering myself, because I don't think I've fully discovered who my full potential, my full realities, and my full being. So it has been a journey, and it has also continued to be a journey. And this is one of the things that for me is about the process, the journey,
Yeah.
right? It's not just on the destination only.
Nation.
Yes, I know where I'm heading to, but it's also at every point in time, what am I making out from
Yeah.
that process? Because for me, I believe it's on the becoming, so, and what every opportunity, adversity, or good or bad or ugly or whatever situation, that what it makes me to become. Like,
Yeah.
so for me is the becoming. And I believe one particular thing that I believe that God protects me,
Yeah.
right? So, and for whatever God has allowed to get to me, means that there's a lesson, there's opportunity, and there's something He wants me to become from
Yeah.
that. The challenges He wants me to take advantage, and there is this opportunity that is waiting for me to take advantage at. And I think I was talking to a colleague a few days ago, and I was like, sometimes we are the ones that actually delay our, moving from one phase to another. I feel that we are the ones that do delay that, because for every opportunity God has allowed to get to us, that's my belief and opinion,
Yeah.
that there are certain things that He wants us to reap, there are certain things that He wants us to get to become, because
Yeah.
for the next level He wants us to attain, or the next greatness He wants us to attain, we need to be great people for us to do great things.
Yeah.
So He throws adversities to make us great people first. And how long will we stay to become great people is that depends on us. So we can stay 6 months. Are we ready to make that progress fast, or are we ready to stay and slow down the progress? So most times we stay in adversity. It's not like God wants us to stay as that long, but most
Yeah.
times it's actually we not taking that leap and moving fast as possible to really
Yeah.
become what God wants to become. So that's
Yeah.
more like the way I really say this. And it has been, like I said, has been a really long journey,
Yeah.
ups and downs, sometimes really not too sure of things, but
Yeah.
honestly, it has been a worthwhile journey too.
Yeah. And I take from that a lot of passion in your voice, but the fact that you you're taking on board like negative things that happen to you as learning opportunities. It sounds like it's not you're trying to see the positive in bad situations as a learning opportunity and personal growth for you to be able to move forward and transition. You talk about transitioning to the next stage in your life, and by overcoming that adversary that you talk about, or that negative thing that's going on in your life, and not worried about the destination. It seems to me the way you're describing it is the destination's really not even being considered, out of your control almost. It's just the journey, and where you end up is where you end up. It's okay to end up here or end up there or whatever. It's just overcoming day-to-day life, and you get to where you're getting. When you get, you're never going to get there. It sounds like you're going to continually improve and continually be on this journey until you die. It sounds like. Is that a summary of it, do you think?
Yes, I think yes, because it's something for me that, for every single time I have breath to breathe, it means that I still have an assignment to continue.
Yeah.
Right, so at the end of it, the destination is like, so that, okay, when I'm no longer have breath to
Yeah.
live. So if I have breath, then that means that I still have an accomplishment, I still have an assignment, I still have some lives to touch. I'm not through with my mission in my existence in this world. So it's more about that journey. And because for me to, because if I get to the destination and I say that I've done everything, then my life become meaningless. So it's that point that if I say, oh, there's a point I want to get to and still be alive, and then if I get to that point and achieve everything, and then there's no motivation to move forward, then my life automatically becomes meaningless, because
Mm.
I'm not having any motivation to move forward. So for
Yeah.
me, it's every single thing. If I have life and breath, it means there's an impact, there's a life to touch, that's that thing to the next business innovation to have, or there's that transformation, or becoming that I need to do,
Yeah.
for it to really achieve what my life has set out to. So that's more like
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking. I done a bit of talk about this the other day, actually. That different people have different motivations in becoming the best they can be, and it sounds to me a lot like your religious beliefs and trying to live up to your mother's and father's strong, Christian values. Um, Seem to me to be motivation, or provide you motivation to be the best you can be, to be the best version of yourself, to live up to these expectations of serving God with your Christian beliefs. Is that fair enough as well?
Yes, I think, and not just because of as a Christian, I believe that for me, this is a personal opinion, but I believe that for a man to live in this world, I have no higher authority that he looks up to. The tendency of being like, it's very hard to be good
Yes.
if there's nothing you fear, right? Because if there's nothing that kind of holds you to a point where it gets to your senses, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous from my own opinion. So there's no really higher being you fear or you care. So you don't really, so you can go ahead and inflict pain or disasters and misery to people, and it's nothing to you because that's nothing you are living for, and that's a very dangerous thing. So no matter the religion somebody wants to, it's about having that. For me, it's having that inclination or inclination of something of higher being that are really that somebody could really submit to, and that can drive that authenticity of being good. That's self-awareness, because that's really where the whole for me is. So it's, and then coming from the Christian values and all that, and the journey of discovery, and I have seen a whole lot really being panning out in that right direction of the way what I was also taught. It's not really perfect, but
Yeah.
the major thing there is the morals and the values is what I cherish most. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
So is that something? Is that something you work on, your values and your morals? Is it a challenge? Like sometimes, for example, it could be a quick and easy buck or shortcut you can take, or maybe shove someone out of the way to get to where you want to be, or something. Do you find yourself battling that and having that conversation with yourself, often about your morals and your values, and trying to stick to them all the time? Is it something that you find difficult, or something that comes naturally to you, do you think?
well, I wouldn't say it's something that comes always natural, right?
Yeah.
Because there are always, we live in an imperfect world where we receive a lot of temptations, all right? Well, I think one of the biggest things for me has been meditation and self-reflection. So that has really been the one of the powerful thing that always try to keep me in check. And another is to always remind myself who I am,
Yeah.
right? So, and that's why the self-discovery is important, because if you discover you are and what you represent, so, and always remind yourself what you are. So if whatever you're going to do, sometimes if you do that reminding, you will actually like, does this really align to who I am? So
Yeah.
this action I have. So sometimes you have a lot of pressures, and it could come almost on a daily basis, right? But always been having that consciousness of who you are, reminding, and also having a retrospect of meditation and reflection about what you have done in the last 1 week or in the last 2 days, and what you could probably have done better. Not really that you did it bad, but in that certain situation, what could have you done better? What are the payways you could have done better? And probably the ones you didn't do right at all, like the
Yeah.
ones you messed up, right? So, and then
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
do you learn from it? And then to be like, okay, in the next situation of a similar situation, I'm consciously rewiring my mind to act in a particular way, just to also keep that consistent identity and self representation that I have embodied in myself. So yes, is it, like I said, is a journey. It's not anything that comes at a breeze, right? So but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
comes to that consciousness or
Yeah.
on that part. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So I like that you're saying self reflection through meditation, or meditation gives you a little bit of it gives you the time to self reflect on some of these things, and to go through each day, or every couple of days, to see if you can do something better, or different strategies to help you on your journey if you come across that scenario again in the future. That's very, very wise, I think. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So so I feel that you know getting to know you, and your identity is something that's important, that you feel is important to yourself, and I feel that that's what this podcast is all about. And I'd like to thank you for sharing your perspective and your views with the viewers today, and hopefully it may inspire other people to look at themselves and their own identity, and where they want to go on their journey. So have you got any final words of wisdom before we go, do you think?
So I think I believe I think is the book. I think. I think positive thinking that really mentioned that you are what you think, right? So I think the one of the most powerful source of force we have within us is our thoughts, right?
Yeah,
So, and how we direction put it in the energy we feed it and the direction we put it, whether it's in positive or negative, really defines who we are, and also really brings a lot of outcome to our reality, right? So because in the midst of every activity, even in the midst of happiness, there's also some sense of sadness in that midst of happiness. So in the midst of pronounced sadness, there's also a sense of happiness in that midst of pronounced sadness. So but it now depends on what in an individual choose to focus on
yeah,
that makes the biggest difference. So for
yeah,
me, I think it's making the decision to be always focused on on positivity, even in the midst of chaos, like focusing in positivity and that positive energy in the midst of chaos, like being calm and always thinking of the next forward, forward thinking thing in the midst of chaos, and is very important. So and again, I will also point out that in that journey of trying to really take charge is actually that decision of which I made probably maybe 5 6 years ago, was that decision to be happy as a choice, not
yeah,
by controlled by my work, how my work day was, or how somebody treated
yeah,
me, or how
yeah,
things didn't turn out the way I want. No, no, no. I decided like I'm going to be happy. And no matter the
yeah, yeah.
situation it is, even though the world wants to end, I will choose to be happy.
Happy.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a strong decision that
yeah,
I have to make. And it's not really coming, but also that self-consciousness and reminding yourself that what you have and reflecting like so you try to as much as possible get 80% of the result most times. And if you're
yeah,
80%, that means you're already getting an A. And that means that majority of the time you're going to be radiating a positive energy.
yeah,
And when you radiate positive energy, a whole lot of things around you is set into positive vibration, if I would say that. So and it start working for your own good. So and when you radiate that positive from inner self, which is happiness, make that choice no matter what. You could
yeah,
become in chaos,
yeah,
right? In a whole lot of chaos, you could become, you could still see clearer, because I have not really seen anybody making the best decision, being agitated or being infuriated and most of them. So it's really that journey of taking that decision, being happy, always want to see positivity even in the midst of chaos. That's one of the things I will really be, and it's kind of summary I will want to put out there that personally is something that has been, so powerful for me. Thoughts, positive
yeah.
thinking, and making that choice to be happy no
To be
matter what the
happy.
situation is.
And does it help? Because I know it's probably you know there's a cultural and country difference between Australia and Nigeria, but regardless, appreciation, being alive and waking up every morning and breathing air, does that help? Do you find appreciation comes into it sometimes to help with this positive thinking and being happy all the time, like through the midst of
Yes,
chaos?
yes. I think gratitude and appreciation is very key ingredient to that,
Yeah,
right? Gratitude and appreciation is a very core ingredient, because when you are appreciative, you see the good things around life. So when you do less of complaining and have less of appreciation and gratitude, you're going to see more of the positive things than the negative. So
yeah,
being appreciative means like, okay, you were able to wake up today, and then there are people who probably died in the night. So that's an appreciation. You are able
yeah,
to breathe freely without having to use oxygen to breathe, or
yeah,
ventilator to breathe. That's an appreciation.
yeah, yeah,
You wake up and you have your loved one alive. Today that's an appreciation. You have family that probably care for you. That's an appreciation. So you have, so there's so much that we'll probably neglect just to focus on the few things that are not going well. So when we look at some of the blessings that are around us, it's a and focus on that. I think, and then be grateful about what we have, and not really complain too much of what we don't have, but work harder on the things we don't have, but don't put less complaint to it, right? But focus
yeah,
on the energy on working, getting it, and then but
yeah. The
also
steps.
being
Yeah,
grateful of what we have is very key. Yeah, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree to
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and yes. So thank you very much for your insights. It's been a real pleasure talking to you, today, and maybe later on in the series we can catch up again and get some more insights from you.
Always pleasure. The pleasure is mine.
Yep. No worries. Thanks very much, eh?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Bye.